Hello there! I am here with Elliot again today because I wanted to talk about something that has been, I guess, a worry for me and a focus for me, and that is how to read when you've got a newborn. For most people, the worry about how their lives are going to change when they have a baby is to do with not being able to go out, not being able to socialise. But let's be frank, we're in a pandemic, and honestly, those aren't things that I prioritise anyway. But something that I do prioritise is reading, obviously. And so when I knew that I was going to have a baby, one of the main things that I was worried about was how I would find time to carry on reading. I also worried about how I was going to find time to carry on writing. That is another topic, and I'm thinking that I will try and make a kind of newborn writing vlog at some stage so that we can trace my journey with that too. But though my reading is not what it was, I have managed to find ways to fit reading into my newborn lifestyle and to still continue to read books when I can. And I wanted to share my tips. They're not like, they're not necessarily going to make reading easy for you when you've got a newborn baby, but I think they could definitely help you to get back into the swing of the reading game. So I've got 5 tips here, and the first one is just accept your limitations. I think this is really important, to realise that you're not going to be able to read the way that you were before you had a baby. That's just not going to happen. You're not going to be able to sit for hours and hours on end, and you're probably going to have to read in very small increments. But I think it's important to accept that any reading is better than no reading, and just read where you can, read where you get a snippet, or read when your baby's sleeping for half an hour, or read when you are breastfeeding. Just read when you can and accept that you're only probably going to be able to read, oh bless you, that you're only going to be able to read a little bit each day. Number 2 is to always have a book to hand. Now this I think is important anyway. Any reader knows that it's important to always take a book out in your bag with you. But I think it's especially important to always have a book to hand when you have a baby. Babies will suddenly fall asleep on you, they will want feeding, and these things take time, and you can end up sitting in one place with no ability to perhaps get up and do anything else for about an hour or so at a time. And that's actually kind of a good thing for your reading if you think about it, because it's time where you literally can't do anything else. Definitely have a book to hand, because for sleep times I found it's fantastic to just be able to reach for a book while your baby is sleeping on you, rather than just reaching for the remote and watching something rubbish on television. Number 3 is audiobooks. I have found audiobooks to be fantastic for getting some reading done during my breastfeeding journey. So breastfeeding is intense, we all know that. It takes a long time and it's hard work. I mean, it's not too bad with him. He generally eats for about 10 minutes at a time, perhaps 20 or 30 at a push, but I know some babies can take up to an hour to breastfeed, and that's kind of wasted time in a way, although it's fantastic bonding time, and you do want to make eye contact with your baby during that period. So perhaps reading a normal book is not necessarily the best thing to do, but definitely audiobooks are excellent. And not only that, they also, I find, calm your baby. And I'm not talking that you have to listen to baby audiobooks. Your baby just likes to hear speaking at this age, so you can listen to whatever you want, and it's soothing for you, and you get to read, and it's also soothing for your baby. So yeah, I really recommend audiobooks. I think they're fantastic as a new parent, and I've definitely filled many a breastfeeding session with a good audiobook. Number 4 is to change your style. Now I think this is really important. A lot changes when you have a baby, and your mentality, certainly in the direct aftermath. Baby brain is definitely a thing, and I found as well, being tired and everything like that, you don't want to concentrate on, say, the latest, I don't know, literary masterpiece. But I think if you change your style to accept that you're not mentally as capable as perhaps you normally would be at this period, I think it's a really good idea, and you can end up reading some really good things and enjoying them. I have been one example of this is that I really don't listen to sort of mainstream bestseller lit, but I listened to The Flat Share by Beth O'Leary, and I absolutely loved it, and it was just exactly what I needed. It was entertaining, it was fun, and I didn't have to think about it. I think detective novels are really good as well, because they grip you and they give you a reason to pick them up again. So yeah, don't be afraid to change your style, even if you know, you're quite set in what you like in your books and you like the more literary stuff, I think it definitely pays to go towards the enjoyable reads. Number 5, the final point, is to get your baby involved. As I said briefly with the audiobook point, so listening to audiobooks is fantastic because it has benefits for your baby as well, much like reading a book would to them. But that applies for any reading that you do. You could always read out loud if that's something that you feel you could still enjoy, and your baby will enjoy that too. And again, you know, reading baby books, they are fantastic when you pick the right ones. So as well as thinking about what your baby would like when you're picking them out books, think about books that you would enjoy as well. And then you can end up reading together, and that's going to be a lot of fun for both of you. And eventually, you know, he's going to be old enough to entertain himself sometimes, and I'm going to be able to read a little bit more. But for now, those are the tips that have really helped me. I'm not, as I say, reading a great deal, so these aren't like a set in stone, this is going to work thing. But I'm still managing to read a little bit. I mean, he's around 2 months old now, and I have managed to read, I think, 4 or 5 books since he was born, which, you know, compared with my average is not much, but compared with the fact that I've got a baby, I think that's really pretty good going. Please let me know down below if you have any tips you would like to add to this, or let me know if you are also struggling to get reading in with your newborn, and I will see you next time. Bye!